All right, the countdown has been taken care of. So, hello everybody, good evening, and welcome to Vaidya's Chess Hub. And by the way, today I've changed the stream settings so you can see that this is a flawless session. And we really hope that never ever will we encounter that buffering issue again, hopefully. And what are we going to do today? It's the Thursday session, so it's a session for the A batch students. However, there are going to be 3 new games. One of those games was pending from the last session, if you remember. So I'm going to take you to that game first and then to the remaining 3. So basically we will go through all the 4 today, and that's what is the main intention. Last Thursday we had this epic session, as Vihang calls it. We looked at all the prizes and the moments of glory, and it was almost a couple of hour session, is it not? So we will get started straight away with this session. I need your notepad with you, and I'm sure that you are ready with the notepad, because hey, I said that in the notifications. I told you to be ready with it. In the chat window, we will also help Saumitra with a name for tomorrow's tournament. And Vihang has a very good idea. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, we will, that Friday, whatever Friday comes next, we will name that tournament 1K subs arena, okay, or something like that, as Jai suggested. So that's a very good idea. And Ayush Tavde, well, our latest entrant into the hub, welcome. Everybody has typed hi, hello Ayush, so I'm sure Ayush you saw that. And for Ayush, I'm going to begin with a homework. If Ayush's parents are here watching this stream, Ayush, I believe I saw your hello sir in the chat. So I believe Ayush, you are watching this with your parents. And if yes, I have a homework for you. And the homework is going to be to watch a video from our channel. So there is going to be, there are rather a few videos that I want you to watch. And one of them, the first one is this one. So Ayush, I want you to watch this video. It's titled The Chess Pieces, and here you will get information about what are the names of the pieces, what are they called, and is the structure of the army same for white and black, and so on and so forth. So I have no doubt that you have made a note of that. Sure, right? Surely you must have made a note of that. Ayush, that's your homework number 1. There is another video that I am going to suggest that you watch, but wait for some time. We will first get this session started. I hope you made a note of that. The Chess Pieces is the name of that video. I'm now going to take you to the chessboard. Today we are going to play, we are going to go through rather 4 games. And 2 of them are from white's perspective, 2 from the black's perspective, which I had mentioned in the notifications. If we have enough time after that, if we have time, then I will take challenges from students as well. 3+0 casual. If we have time, because 4 games today, we also want to write down the games. But yes, if then there is enough time and the stream helps, then we will go for it. Okay. Vihang was also telling me that I missed a winning move yesterday in a game of the classical time control. Just let me know the move number and if you have analyzed it or not. So Vihang, you can tell me, have you analyzed it on leeches? I'm not quite sure, so please let me know. And Prajna has a ridiculous suggestion. She says the growing plants of the hub arena. Growing plants, okay. Fine then, game number 1. Let's get started. This is our game number 1. Let me bring myself into the frame. There your sir is. So let's get started. This is from the white perspective, and this is the one game that I probably wanted to show you, which was the pending game. First we'll start with the white perspective, the first couple of games, and then the next 2 games will be from black's perspective. So what defense is this? I want people to actually do this in the chat, okay? Kindly tell me in the chat what opening is this. E4, E6, D4, D5. I look forward to answers from the new guys, especially. The seniors would know it just like that, but for the new entrants. So Srinath, Sahil, those guys can easily try to tell me what this opening is. So what is well, Rupak, you joined now. What was the reason for your delay? Jay saying Scandinavian. Is it the Scandinavian defense, guys? Jay, is it Scandinavian defense? Hello Akanksh, why are you joining us late? Saumitra is right, it's the French defense. Even Rupak thinks it's Scandinavian. Probably Jay's answer got copied. So Rayansh is right, it's the French defense. Not sure of the eco though, because now we don't know yet which line of French we are going to play. Back to the chessboard, it is the French defense, guys, not the Scandinavian. It is the French defense. Jai, I'm surprised. Now, in this position, White has the following moves. White could go for the exchange variation, the advanced variation, the Winawer variation, which I like, the Tarash variation. All are absolutely comfortable. However, the one I like the most is knight to c3, and in this game I believe that's exactly what happened. Knight c3, black played bishop b4. So this is the Winawer variation, guys. This is the Winawer variation, W-I-N-A-W-E-R, Winawer variation. So why did black play this move, bishop to b4? The idea is quite simple to understand. This bishop has now pinned the knight to the king, and therefore now black's threatening to win the pawn on e4. It's a very simple threat to see. That's why I have always said watch the opponent's last move. So if you try to understand why black played bishop b4, then you will get the hidden agenda, and you will be wise enough to play what white did, pushing the pawn. That's, I believe, one of the best moves. The other move is e takes d5. We can have that pawn exchanged, but this looks like the advanced start after Winawer. Black played c5. It's a common idea in the French defense to immediately go for this d4 and undermine it, with the knight later joining the attack, with the queen b6 joining it, and white and black will pile up that pressure on the d4 pawn. Try to understand this very clearly. What black tries to do is black tries to pressurize white in the d4 square with the knight, with the queen, with the pawn on c5. Those are the general ideas, okay? White played bishop d2. Now this is a playable move, not the best. At the moment, queen g4, bishop d2, well, both are good. I would play queen g4 any day here, because now the bishop cannot go back. So if you play a move like queen g4, it keeps g7 under constant threat. However, bishop d2 is perfectly playable. Now if you are thinking, sir, but isn't that a free pawn? So let me tell you, later after the game I might show you this line, that it's not actually bad. You can try this on leeches as well, take this as homework. So after white plays bishop d2, why does black not, become over the moon kind of happy with the move c takes d4 that can be played here? Well, which in this game he did, and so that means you should be happy. Now you will get to see. So no homework for you, because you will get to see what white did after this. Now the knight can pin because of bishop on d2, and this is what happens. This is what happens. So now what has happened is there's a discovered attack on the bishop, and the knight is threatening this annoying knight d6 check if the bishop leaves the diagonal. Observe properly what's happening, guys. So with the move bishop d2, white unpinned that knight, and now after knight b5, knight is threatening that knight d6 check if the bishop leaves the diagonal, and also there is an attack on the bishop on b4. So the black bishop cannot stand on that b4 square. It's very important, okay? Let's get back to the game that we were studying, and let's see what black's response was. So obviously black played bishop to c5. Black wants to keep the control of this square d6, doesn't want to allow white that check. So that's exactly what I tried to tell you. So bishop c5 is more or less forced here, guys. Make a note of this, all my seniors. This will help you tackle the French defense nicely. All the 4 games today are very interesting. There will be time as usual when I shall pause. But at the moment, let's continue. I showed you why bishop c5 is almost forced. Now look at White's immediate plan here. This is what I call initiative and tempo. It's one of my IDs on leeches as well. Now immediately White is threatening the bishop here. So now the squares available are bishop e7 and bishop f8. If black bishop wants to control this d6 square, well, if the bishop goes back to b6, then of course knight d6 check is annoying. So the only squares now the bishop has are the two squares I've highlighted in the yellow color. So bishop e7 or maybe bishop f8. Bishop takes b4 will be a blunder, is supported by the bishop. So what happens here? How does black respond? He does give up that d6 square. If bishop e7 is played, then queen g4 is very, very strong. I repeat, if bishop e7, then queen g4 is very strong because of this chain here. The queen constantly maintains the pressure on g7. More importantly, black has exposed his queen side so much that there is really no scope for black to castle queen side. That does not happen in such games, by the way. I'm sure that you're making a note of all of this, guys. It's very important that you do. Okay. So after b4, bishop b6 was played and queen g4 was played before the move knight d6 check. It's a very interesting idea. Now clearly White is attacking the g7 pawn as I showed earlier. So g6 is, I think it's almost forced unless black wants to play something like king f8, which is desperate times. So if black wants to keep that g7 pawn, there are two moves. Either you play the move g6, which looks natural, or you play a move like king f8 and say goodbye to your castling prospects. All right, so do I pause here? So bishop, g6 was played, and now it is important for White to keep the attack going. Can't just compromise there. Knight to d6 check as expected. Finally king f8 anyway. Queen to f4, and clearly the new guys, the B batch guys, there is a checkmate thread. Watch opponent's last move. I've always said this. Watch opponent's last move. Opponent has played queen to f4. So queen f4, there is a checkmate thread. Queen takes f7, checkmate. It's a pretty simple, straightforward checkmate that you must see. And black saw that. Definitely black saw that. So black played f6. White played e takes f6. And now the point is, why not queen takes f6, you say? Because the queen can easily take this with the knight support. Well, if the queen takes it, then you can clearly see that after the queens are exchanged, or doesn't even need to exchange the queens, this bishop on c8 is hanging if the queen moves from that square. Queen is the only defender of that bishop. I want you to understand the subtleties. So the queen cannot take here. Well, the point is, what after knight takes? The same thing. Well, if knight takes it, oops. If the knight takes the pawn, then the knight takes on c8 first, and then after queen recaptures, queen cannot defend the knight anymore, the piece will be lost. So please try to understand the nitty-gritty. It doesn't matter if the B batch guys don't understand completely, because this is a lecture for A batch, but A batch, make a note of all of these things. If this is played, that happens. If that happens, this happens. Okay. So clearly this pawn cannot be taken immediately. So black played bishop to c7. The idea is pretty simple. Now black has a couple of attackers on the knight. There's only one defender. More importantly, the knight is pinned. The bishop will actually take the queen if the knight moves, and the knight has no check to offer. So the idea is pretty straightforward here. Now here, I will like to pause the video and concede about 3 minutes. I'm going to concede 3 minutes should be okay here, okay? 3 minutes. Try to do your complete analysis. It is White to play here. 3 minutes for you. I'll join you at the end of these 3 minutes. Last 10 seconds. And your time is up, and I am so proud of my students. I really am blessed with good students. It's fantastic. Only except Namish. Namish, you should try something. I said it's okay if you don't get it, but try to look at the best possible move. Okay, why not? But the seniors, this lecture is meant for you, and that's a perfect answer. And I believe Black Star boy is Pratik. So hello Pratik. Hello, welcome. But why are you late, my dear? Why do you join late? Let me take you to the chessboard and show you the beautiful finish. Well, the finish is very interesting indeed, and almost all of you got the answer right. So what's going to happen here, guys, is there's going to be this queen h6 check. The force move is knight takes h6. Well, then there is bishop takes h6. Then the king is a square to go to g8, and then this pawn push, and we all know a checkmate by a pawn is disaster, and as seniors have rightly said that it is embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing. So that's the point here. So let's go to the game and actually finish it. Let's see. Did black resign here? No, the checkmate actually happened, is it? Yep, knight takes bishop. And some people forgot about this move. King g8 is possible, but after king g8, f7 checkmate is just disaster. This is disaster. This checkmate is picturesque checkmate. White could actually make a big photo frame of this because that's what I talk about, initiative and tempo. Look at this bishop, look at this knight, look at this rook, look at the queen. No role to play in the game. This is how disastrous things are if you don't use all your pieces. I think the B batch guys can make a note of this. If you don't use all your pieces, such catastrophe can occur. The bishop on c8, knight on b8, rook on a8, queen on d8. No role to play in the game. And white got the bishop in the game, a pawn in the game to checkmate, queen in the game. Fantastic. Okay. Now I told you that you should have your notepad with you. I'm sure you have your notepad with you. So this is yes, on the rubbing salt on the moon. I think it's rubbing salt on the wound. Yeah, Vihang, thank you. Picturesque. Jay, I use the word picturesque. Picturesque means very pretty. Something that is worth taking a photo. Very lovely. Picturesque. That is indeed what it is. Let's go to the notepad, guys, and I want you to write it in the notepad. Here you go. Here's your notepad, guys. Here's your notepad. And make sure that you're writing the game, and please type, after you're done writing the game, please type yes, done in the chat. I wonder how people say that they are done or writing all the 14 moves. Were you making a note of them while I was teaching you? I wonder. You're done writing 14 moves so fast. I am going to wait. Yeah, looks like most people are getting done with it. So let's say half a minute. Now before we go to the next game, Ayush will have his next homework. The first homework was watching the video on chess pieces. Well, Akansh says he's made a writing machine. Really? What's that like? What's that? What is that? Okay, Ayush. Now this is time for jotting down your homework number 2. The second video, Ayush, that I want you to see, and the parents should probably help him do that, is this. Watch this video on ranks and files. So this will tell Ayush what are ranks and what are files. They all are very small videos, okay? So this will definitely help you understand. Now we have done 2 videos. So first you will see chess pieces. And the second one, Ayush, you will watch is this ranks and files video. They both are videos on our channels. So Ayush, please make a note of this. This is your second homework. Okay. Thanks, Jay, for actually writing it down once in the chat window. Fantastic. Brilliant indeed. Thank you. And now it is time for us to go to game number 2. I told you the first 2 games are from white to play perspective and the next 2 will be black to play. So let me take you to our game number 2 here. Well, this was the game that we were playing. So let's get started with game number 2. I am ready. I think you should also be ready. Let me bring myself in the frame. There you have your sir now. Well, this one is e4, e5. Let's see what the opening is. Knight to f3, knight, and then d6. Now you need to type in the chat what is this defense called. You guys need to tell me in the chat what is this defense called. Every time it's not the French defense. This is the Philidor defense. Prajna is absolutely right. So is Jay, so is Vihang. Perfect. Brilliant. So this is indeed the Philidor defense. Again, let me bring myself on the cam. So I have told you all the time that whenever you encounter this, there are the following moves which I recommend. Number 1 is bishop c4. The other one is d4, the center break. Well, the passive one is knight to c3. We will see what actually white plays in this game. d4 it is, the center break move, and the pawns were exchanged. So d4, and then you have d4, then you have e takes d4. Okay. So the idea is that knight can take here. So knight takes d4 happen in the game. And now bishop d7. Okay, bishop d7 is not away out of the main line, so definitely playable and a part of the main line. What happens next? Knight to c3 and g6. Now who can tell me why did black play g6 here, guys? Why did black play g6? This move here, knight c3 after bishop d7, is normal, but why did black play g6? Personally, against Philidor, I like the move bishop c4 more than d4 what white did. But if you are a player who loves open files and an attack on the open d file or something, then yeah, d4 is okay. Yes, absolutely right. Black wants to fianchetto. So that's the answer I was looking for. Indeed. Now the idea is black played g6 to put his bishop on g7, which is like the longest diagonal. And this idea is called fianchetto, guys. This idea is called fianchetto, which is an Italian term. I'm so happy that our seniors have typed the spelling correctly. Chinmay, Saumitra, okay, Arya, all with the correct spelling as well, which is brilliant. Bishop g7 is pretty much the plan. Wants to put the bishop on the longest diagonal. White now plays the move bishop to c4. So after the idea of fianchetto, white plays bishop c4 and knight c6 happened. So far the game is going pretty normal. There are no fireworks, at least not as of now. We will see whether we will have fireworks pretty soon. Knight was played to d5. I think white is playing the same piece twice, but there is some merit in doing that. The idea is pretty simple here. There are times when white wants to sacrifice on g5 so that after the queen takes on g5, white can, oops, not there. White can play knight takes c7, which is a fork. The seniors should try to understand this technique. It's a very useful technique, guys. What did I just say? What white wants to do is white wants to play bishop g5 without support. That bishop g5 is without support, and when the queen takes on g5, there are plans where black takes on c7. That is why I am okay with this knight d5 move over here, which is, if you look at this position from the Leech's engine or any engine, I think it's equal. It's not bad for white to play knight d5 here. It is perfectly okay. So yeah, okay, after knight c6, knight d5, and that's why you have the move bishop g7. The fianchetto idea, was it not? Consistent with the idea, I like that. So knight d5, and then you have bishop g7. So clearly black is executing his plans. Bishop e3, looks like white is not, in a mood to give away anything for free. I always say watch opponent's last move. Opponent put his bishop on the longest diagonal, which meant that two pieces were attacking the knight, and that's why white played bishop e3, making sure that it is attacked twice, but it's also defended twice. So bishop e3, watch opponent's last move. So many times I say this. So bishop g7, the idea is to attack it twice. That's why white played bishop e3, attacked twice and defended also twice. Makes sense. Knight, how do we write this move, guys? Who can tell me? How do we write this move? Is it just knight e7? Tell me. How do we write this move? How do we write this? Yes, Bhargav is right. Absolutely. Knight ge7. Brilliant. Knight ge7 is absolutely brilliant. And why knight ge7? Because both the knights could have come on the e7 square. That's why the knight which was on the g file came on e7. So knight ge7. Absolutely brilliant. Let me take you to the board to explain that. But see, before this move, what was the situation? Well, over here, both the knights could have come on this e7 square. So the knight which was on the g file came on e7. That's why we cannot just simply say knight e7, but we say knight ge7. Now white plays bishop g5. The idea is pretty simple. Going to pin the knight, attack it 2 times. But important thing is the pin here. That is a simple idea. So that knight is not attacking our knight anymore. Also not supporting the c6 square. Let's see what happens here. Bishop g5 looks okay. Bishop g5. It is definitely a computer suggestion. Bishop g5. Did I analyze this game? I think yes, I did analyze this game. And now bishop took the knight. So this is interesting. Bishop definitely took this knight because now you have only one defender there. So bishop takes d4 happened very fast. Bishop takes d4. Now it is over here that it is white to play, and I think now I should give you your time, your thinking time. 3 minutes for you from here. What should white do here? White just played bishop g5 and black took on d4. What's up, guys? What's up? Tell me. 3 minutes. Okay, the time is up. Again, I must say that I'm really happy when the students put their sincere effort. Well, Chinmay and Rudra are the two guys, even Vihang, who support that queen sacrifice idea. It is so important to think sometimes out of the box in such situations. We are prone to think that now the knight can be taken on e7, but the knight will take on e7 because it's attacked by the bishop. Then we'll get the d4 piece and attack the rook. Yes, that's a strong idea. But what is stronger is what Chinmay just gave. Vihang gave the answer. Rudra said that it is fantastic. However, remember why the queen sacrifice is so important here. Let me take you to the board, guys. Why the queen sacrifice is so important here. Sahil, it's okay not to have the idea. It's perfectly okay. The queen sacrifice is important because yes, we want to play knight f6. Imagine this bishop isn't here. Imagine that this bishop is not here. Now immediately knight f6, king f8, and bishop h6 checkmate, because the knight will control both the squares. But it's only the bishop that's bothering us. I'm sure that even seniors are enjoying this. This is beautiful. This is aggression. This is good. This is initiative and tempo. So just look at that. Imagine that the bishop is not there on d4. I repeat, imagine that black bishop is not there on the d4 square. Then you could have even executed the mate right now, right away. Knight f6 check, king f8, bishop h6 checkmate. It's only the bishop that you have to eliminate here. Did white do that? Absolutely. Queen takes d4. Bang! And black castled. I'll quickly show you why black did not take this. If black would have taken the queen, then it's knight f6 check, force move is king f8, and bishop h6 is checkmate. Guys, it's very important. It is extremely important that you actually go ahead and register this in your mind. So important. I'm sure you're loving this, guys. Now, how does white continue the attack? He's just given a piece here. How does white continue the attack here? Do I ask you that question? I think not now. I think I'll just continue with this. In the game after queen d4, black castle, guys. Mind you, black castle. Black didn't go for that, did not fall for that trap with the knight takes queen thing. Now, how does white continue from here? So, black has castle. I'll give you 3 minutes again, guys. Now, how does white continue? Knight f6 is checkmate. What happened to you, Bhargav? Knight f6 is checkmate here. Really, Bhargav? Under 10 seconds. In the juniors think that it is perfectly okay just to say I agree with Vihang or I agree with Saumitra. The time is up. Juniors, try your own things. Don't just try to cut, copy, paste answers by your seniors. I agree with Saumitra. I agree with Vihang. Really? Saumitra was honest to say that he missed out on that bishop h6 here. I think Vihang came closest to the answer, is it? Yeah, I think it was. There's no doubt about that. I think there is this line which is very important to see because there are variations. with king g7, with king h8. Well, I will show you both the variations. Let's get to the board here. Yes, the first move is definitely knight to f6 check. Now if king g7, there is mate into, and this is why I say, guys, when I give you the time limit of 3 minutes, I want you to calculate the entire line. So everybody should have said knight f6 check. If king g7, what happens? And if king h8, then what happens? So I'm going to tell you now that if after knight to f6 check, if king g7 is played, then it's mate in 2 moves. In the game, black played king h8, but let me quickly show you. If it is king g7, then it's mate in just 2 moves here. And there are 2 ways of doing it. You can actually go with the move knight e8. I like this. Let's go in the enemy camp. Look at the way the knight is positioned, and it's a double check. Now, Avdut, will you tell everybody what is the rule about the double check? What is the rule about the double check? Can we block a double check? Can the checking pieces both be taken in the same move? What is the rule about the double check? There's an important rule about the double check. Can Avdut tell us what is the rule about the double check, man? If Avdut is with us, I believe he is with us, right? Avdut, what is the rule about the double check? There are 3 ways to get out of check, but when you give a double check, it says something special. It is a double check. Look at the position. Look at our white knight. Saumitra and Vihang, you can tell me how beautiful was. I think Avdut is not with us. The answers came from Prajna. Okay, Prajna, thank you so much. Yes, oh, there it is. So Avdut says in a double check, the king has to move. Absolutely. Thank you, Avdut. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, Prajna. So the thing is, knight looks so good, firmly planted in the enemy camp. Our knight on e8 is just fabulous. Just fabulous. Now the king has only 1 square to go because the king has to move. The only way is king g8, no other choice. And now queen g7 is just checkmate, supported by the knight. Look at our pieces in the enemy camp. Right in the enemy camp, and nothing can be done about those pieces. This is painful to watch for black if this happens. It's painful. Okay, so that is the variation if black plays the move king to g7. So I wanted that, guys. I wanted that. So after knight f6 check, if king h8, then that happens. We are going to write this variation as well when we write down the game. So if king g7, then the next move, as I said, is knight e8, which is a double check, king g8, and then of course you have queen g7, which is checkmate, which will lead to 1-0. However, that didn't happen in the game. After knight f6 check, what happened was king h8, and I think now the seniors were right. But it's important to go for this check, guys. Knight g4 check is the only winning check. I repeat, knight g4 check is the only winning forceful checkmate move. Knight g4 check. It is made in 2 from here because it's a discovered check. This time it's not a double check. Guys, every discovered check is not a double check, but every double check is a discovered check. We saw that the last move, and now look at this move. The knight was in the way, so the knight moved and the queen started checking the king. So this is a discovered check. It's a discovered check. The knight moved out of the way, and so now there is a check, but it's not a double check. It's just checked by the queen. So in the game, what happened was there are 3 responses black has. There is f6, there is knight e5. Is it not? Yeah, there is knight e5. There is f6. All of them lead to mate in 2. Now this assignment is only for seniors. This assignment is only for seniors. Seniors, what am I saying? I am saying that black has the following options. Black can play the position from the position. I'll take you to the position, but listen to me. The seniors Black has the choice of playing f6, knight takes d4, or even knight e5. Those are the options, okay? Tell me, type all the variations of how it is going to be checkmate in 2. Just do that. Let's see if you can do that. So seniors, do it now. There are 3 ways. There are 3 responses by black. All lead to mate in 2. Granth has given the first one, which is if king g8, then he says knight h6 is mate, correct? What about the moves I said? Knight can take the queen. Rayansh is right. Knight can take the queen. Then what happens? If knight takes d4, then what happens? Seniors, I'm waiting for your response. I'll take myself off the cam. What I am wanting seniors to do is to type what happens if knight takes queen. What happens is f6. Oh, Nijapkar has joined. Nijapkar is saying knight takes d4, then bishop f6 check, king g8, and knight h6 checkmate. Absolutely correct. Very good, Samartha. Now what happens if the pawn blocks it? If f6, then what happens? What happens if it's f6? Samartha has provided us with the correct answer. Samartha said if there is this move f6 that is played, then there will be bishop takes f6, rook takes f6, queen takes f6. Well, queen takes f6 will be mate. Samartha said mate in 2, not mate in 3. After queen takes f6, Samartha, it will be checkmate. Whoa, Samartha. And what now if, well, what was the third response that black had? Knight e5. What if knight e5? What if knight e5? What happens then? That's also a move that he has. Knight e5, and Soumitra has actually shared the line that is bishop f6 check, king g8. Is it not? Yeah, king g8. Did he say that? And then knight h6 is checkmate. So yes, we've gotten all the answers. Even Granth said that line. And yes, congratulations everybody. That's why I always say that I'm so happy to get good gems like you. Okay, fantastic students. So I'm now going to show you what happened in the game. Knight took the queen, bishop f6 check, and knight h6 was checkmate. This is such an embarrassing mate. I don't know what the pattern here is. I don't even think this pattern has a name, because it's a knight check and I don't know, bishop is on f6. Now it is time for us to go ahead and write down everything. So please go ahead and write it down. Please jot it down properly. Don't be in a haste and say it's done, it's done, it's done. Guys, make sure that you Write down the variations as well. It's okay, Rupak. But I think you should not do that. You should focus on the game, guys. Don't write whilst I'm teaching you. I will always give you time at the end. Next time, Rupak, remember that. Please write down the variations as well. No problem. Next time, Rupak, remember. At the moment, it is okay, Rupak. Guys, are you done? Looks like again we will be able to do only 3 games. It's 10 minutes to 7. So we will leave again the 4th game for the next Thursday. We'll do 3 games. We'll do 1 more. And now I guess everybody is done. So as I was saying, we will do the 3rd game, which will be the last game. And we will leave the 4th one for next Thursday. So it looks like in a session we need 20 minutes for a game, and so it's 3 into 20, 23 is 60. That's how it goes. So let's go ahead and let me take you to that 3rd and the final game. This was the game that we just saw. Now this is from the Black's perspective. So let me flip the board and also bring myself in the frame. There we go. So game number 3 and the last one for today. How does this game begin? E4, E5 from the Black's perspective. So knight F3 attacking the pawn and knight C6 defending it, and bishop C4. As usual, I am going to ask you to name this opening. Do that, please. Well, Soumitra has a very nice suggestion. Soumitra, your suggestion is time is precious arena. Well, Ayush, I will come to you with your homework after this game. I'll show you your 3rd and final homework. Italian game is the right answer. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Italian game is the right answer. Avdut Taude, yes, I will come to you, my dear. You have the 3rd and the final homework to make a note of. I will definitely tell you that after this game. Okay, so be with us. I will tell you your 3rd and final homework. Let's get back to the board. This is indeed the Italian game where white plays the move bishop c4, and this is knight f6, one of the best responses. Bishop c5 is the other response, and knight c6 is, knight f6 is the second best, I should say, but both are grandmaster choices. D3, which is the latest by grandmasters, they now like to try D3, then C3, then there is of course knight BD2, something like that. Black played bishop C5. Do I pause here? No, nothing to pause here. White castled in the game. Black also is developing a kind of symmetric pattern here with the pawn structure at least. And knight to c3 now. Okay, that's not bad at all. Bishop g4. What was the idea of bishop g4? Pinning the queen. The idea of bishop g4 is to pin the knight, so that if the knight moves, white will lose the queen. So bishop g4. And mind you, it is in this position that white also has to constantly bear in mind this threat. This knight is ready to come. In your games, guys, this happens a lot. This happens a lot in your games. Take a look at this position properly. And so often in your tournaments, I come across this situation. The knight is pinned. There is this d3 pawn, so the bishop cannot go back. And the knight is ready to come to the d4 square. I hope everybody is getting this. The juniors watching this. This is so typical what sometimes happens. Yeah. Knight g5 is a fried lever attack. Yes, Rayansh, you're right. that in this position, let me go back. After knight f6, white's typical attack is knight g5, attacking the f7 pawn, which is known as the fried lever. Now, I'm not sure the seniors have seen me play this line. This is a very popular line. The name is very absurd, fried lever attack. Why they call it the fried lever attack, nobody knows. But it is called the fried lever attack for some reason. And the line is with knight g5 attacking that f7 pawn, which Rayansh is referring about. We will someday look at that variation as well. But for the moment, this is what happened. And this is the typical setup. So what does white do? Immediately challenge just this bishop. Very important white does that. Otherwise, I've told you that knight is going to come on d4 and life looks tough for white then after that. So white plays the move h3 here. So has posed a question to our bishop. And after that question, whoa, h5. Isn't that nice, guys? h5. What say? Really? h5? What's up? h5. And white took. So h takes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. H takes g4. Really? H takes g4. Now, should I pause here? I think this will be the right time to pause. For a change, this is black to play. Okay, this is not white to play. This is black to play. 3 minutes for you to think. Black to play, not white to play. Black to play. Why did black just give the bishop on g4? Welcome, Daksh. Vihang, that's a very nice request, but if I tell you, then it's well, as good as leaking the answer. So just try on your own whatever you feel. It doesn't have to be necessarily right, but I want to see how the seniors think. Rupak, what's your line, dear? Rupak wants me to take a look at his line. H takes g6. H takes g6. Is that possible? Rupak, you need to check what you've typed. Okay. I think there are only last 15 seconds. So I will show you a general idea. There are two ways black can continue here. One is to play the move which looks obvious, which is h takes g4, and the other one is knight takes g4. Well, let me tell you, both are winning. Time is up. Both are winning for black. Both the lines are winning for black. And by the way, hello Daksh, who has just joined. While I gave you the time, it was Daksh who joined us. Let me show you what happened in the game here. In the game, h takes g4 happened. So attacking the knight. The knight came to g5. And over here there was this g3 push, and this was calculated by Soumitra. So I am very happy at this. Now knight takes f7 was played. Knight takes f7 was played. Here actually g3 is not such a great move. White should have simply played bishop takes f7 check, but white was greedy for material. It thought it's a fork. And now knight takes e4 was played. And now you have to calculate. White played the move knight takes queen. From here again, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. From this position, black to play. From this position. From this position, black to play. Okay, so it's mate in 4 from here. Let me show that to you. The line is g takes. Oh, this is interesting. G takes, and then rook takes, and then bishop takes, king to f1, rook h1 check, king e2, knight d4 is checkmate. This is just amazing. This is just amazing, mind you. Just phenomenal checkmate here. Something huge has happened here. Let me show that to you again. It starts with g takes f2 check. Mind you, this rook is so powerful, covers the entire h file. Rook takes, bishop takes. The bishop is supported by the knight, can't take it. King f1, rook h1 check. No need to take the queen. Knight d4 is just checkmate. This is something That is amazing. Did that happen in the game though? Yeah, that's exactly what happened in the game, guys. Okay, so now this is 0-1, of course, game number 3. Let me bring that game to you. Please write down the game. Okay, I think the twinkling stars of the hub or twinkling stars of the hub arena, what Avnish is saying, can be taken as tournament name for tomorrow. Let me know if all of you agree with that. Guys, let me know if you all agree with that. Let me just know if you all agree with that suggestion, because I like that, and if Leeches accepts that, that would be great. No, it can be kept for tomorrow's tournament as well. The twinkling stars of the hub, we can keep that for tomorrow. The twinkling stars of the hub, we can take that for tomorrow. 100% we can take that for tomorrow. At the moment, copy this game. Soumitra, we can keep that name for tomorrow. The twinkling stars of the hub looks okay, looks good. Okay, I think Soumitra solved his issues for the next Friday as well. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That's it. I think now I will talk to Ayush, because Ayush, you need your third and the final homework, my dear, our young student. Ayush Taude, this is your homework number 3. I want you to watch the lecture on how to set up the chessboard. That's your homework number 3. How to set up the board. So quickly let me show you all the 3 homework that I've asked you, Ayush. The first homework that I shared with you, what was that? It was about, I think, chess pieces, isn't it? Chess pieces. This was your first homework. The chess pieces. Someone type it for Ayush, please. Jai, you can do that. The first homework is the chess pieces. The next homework I gave you was watch this video on ranks and files. Ranks and files. That's the second homework. And the final homework is setting up the chessboard. How to set up a chessboard. Small, simple, short videos for you, Ayush, to watch. I hope that somebody will type it for young Ayush, please. Somebody just do it for Ayush. Fantastic, Ayush. That is your homework, and I will definitely next Thursday, I'll give you 1 week time to watch all the 3 videos. Next Thursday for Ayush, I'm going to ask him questions. Okay, the 3 videos. Make sure that you watch this, and Ayush, I hope that you can answer. I hope you are watching it with your mom or with your dad. Bhargav, I told you that you can recommend us to your friend. I believe once your friend had, he was here with us, but I think he joined us at the time when we had to go. So nothing much could be done. So please make sure that you recommend that he joins us at 6 o'clock when we actually start. 1800 hours, that is 6 p.m. IST. You can do that. By the way, hopefully Deep is going to play tomorrow. Deep is going to play tomorrow's tournament. Omkar sir is not going to play tomorrow, but Deep is going to play tomorrow. Soumitra, make sure that you send the message quickly because I'll have to forward it to Kunal as well. Remember, Kunal will be in the group from the next month. So for tomorrow's tournament, I'll have to forward him the message. So Soumitra, please do the needful ASAP and forward the message to me. For the moment, this 7:15, it is time for me to stop. This is going to be interesting, the tomorrow's tournament. I want 100% people to give their 100%, and should the berserks be allowed or not, you tell me. I'm okay with both. And next month, surely Soumitra, we will have one Swiss League tournament. But I want to talk to Omkar sir about how long it goes. If you have any idea, you can tell me. What is the duration for a Swiss League tournament? Let's say if we have a round of 5 plus 3, then how long will the tournament go for, or something like that. Those are the details I want to talk about with Omkar sir before we finalize the first Swiss League tournament next month. Next month we are playing our first Swiss League tournament. Okay. So for now we will stop, and we will meet again tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is a tournament day, so we are going to start 5 minutes in advance. I'll start at 5:55. Definitely we will have Vihang is saying 1.5 hours maybe. So maybe for 90 minutes. Instead of 1 hour, it could go for 1 hour 30 minutes. So we will talk about it, but we will definitely play one Swiss League tournament next month. That's my promise. We will sort this out in the coming days. We will stop for now. See you again. Bye bye Ayush. Thanks Daksh for joining, man. We will and by the way, Jay's suggestion for 1K subscribers, when we hit that mark, we will have that tournament. Okay. Bye for now. Be there tomorrow 5 minutes earlier. Okay. Take care. Bye bye.